Network intelligence can have a huge impact on anyone, irrespective of a degree, education, background, race, age. Julie was a cleaning lady at a bank, and she decided to give up her job after her manager dressed her down in front of other people in the office. She was connected, obviously, to her team and wrote a nice farewell letter saying, "Hi ladies, this is my last clean at HSBC. I left my post prepared for the next person." And then she addressed her manager saying, "Hey, this is not my fault. It's your aggressive attitude. And remember that in the world where you can be anyone, just be kind." This letter gave me a lot of reflection about when it comes to network intelligence, we should understand that our self-confidence, sense of dignity, whenever we show it, whenever we stood up to defend it, will have an empowering impact on our colleagues. Most likely at this bank, many other employees felt encouraged to stand up and say, "Hey, no more bullying." And this will surely have a positive impact on corporate culture. Probably for the manager who behaved like this, this will be detrimental to the future career. But this is not all what I wanted to tell you about the impact of network intelligence. What has happened the following day is that her son, Joe, posted the letter on social media, and his tweet got viral. Over 160,000 likes, 15,000 retweets, and 3,700 comments. Imagine how much any company would pay for a communication campaign with this kind of reach and engagement. And Joe didn't say anything. He just said, "Hey, I love my mom. This is why I love her." And this is, again, a great lesson for believing that a network intelligence can help you, your organization, your community become more successful or can ruin your future. I believe that everyone, especially if you're privileged to get an education, if you're privileged that on your way you met people who cared to invest in your future, remember that in the world where you can be anything, you are privileged, and be kind. My name is Daria Tataj. For over a decade, I have been researching where innovation comes from and why in certain places in the world, people are able to secure a better future for themselves and their loved ones. I traveled to over 20 countries in Europe, the US, South America, and China to understand how it is that networked people, networked companies, and networked organizations can deliver more and can be successful. Network intelligence is about performance, innovation, and growth. Your capacity to turn people in your networks whom you are connected with or whom you can be connected with is your network intelligence. Now, it manifests itself in many different ways. The most obvious one is when an opportunity presents itself to you rather than other people at the right time. It is because you have a certain reputation and you're connected to people in a direct and trusted way. Another sign of network intelligence at the team level is when you need to get some kind of expertise or piece of information. And you can quickly, as a team, tap on the intelligence of your networks at the networks of your networks to get what you need faster than other teams. Number three, it can manifest itself at the level of an ecosystem, a community or an organization or even a city. It's when people who are connected can deliver more by the pure fact that they can effectively work together. What are the 6 benefits of high network intelligence? Number 1 is about your identity. Especially if you're working in multiple different projects, working in diverse teams, some face-to-face, other hybrid or remote, you may lose a sense of who you are and what is important for you. Your networks give you a sense of belonging, a sense of connection, and this is important for shaping your professional identity. Number two is your reputation. You can call it a brand, but the way I like to think about it is that this is all that you're standing for, all the values that you manifest through your digital presence, and the digital trust that you can induce in people who may not know you personally, but who may observe and follow you on social media. Number three is basically performance. Your networks help you deliver on your daily duties. Number four is a political support. You can get support of influential people whose decision is critical so that you can get access to resources you need to deliver on your project or your idea. And the last one is about access to an open innovation ecosystem. In such an ecosystem, many different people learn together, learn from each other, and jointly develop their ideas, unleash the collective intelligence and collective creativity. These are the 6 benefits leaders who have a high network intelligence can tap upon. The success of talented, innovative people depends on access to the right networks. It's important that you build networks with a purpose in mind so that you have access to the support, opportunities, and resources your networks may provide. I define network intelligence through a set of 7 competencies. They are all digital competencies, and the network intelligence digital competency model is based on the following skills. Number 1, network intelligence. It is your ability to build networks fit for your purpose. This implies that you understand what is your purpose, and this is not that trivial to answer the question, and you understand who are your stakeholders and what is important for them. And that with this, you can start mapping your ecosystem and start building the type of connections you need across the interconnected ecosystem locally and globally. Competency number 2 is about e-networking. Well, it means basically that you can use digital tools and platforms to expand your networks, again, keeping a purpose in mind. Competency number 3, it's about engagement. This is your ability to engage in the physical world and in the digital world, so engage virtually with people who are relevant for your purpose. Now, number 4 competency is about empowerment. In the context of the network intelligence digital competency model, empowerment is defined as your ability to empower other people to build their networks. Because if they do it with a purpose in mind, your network will grow exponentially. Competency number 5 is digital communication. We are all overloaded with number of messages, notices, streams of discussions we are facing every day. It is the important skill to turn this chaos, to turn this noise into an effective network. Number 6 competency is about collaboration for diversity. Diversity matters for innovation, and your ability to turn different types of people from different communities and backgrounds into your collaborators makes your networks become your innovation ecosystem and perform at the same time. The last competency is about influence, is the ability to understand your position versus other position in your networks and understand how to build stronger ties with the key influencers because they have certain motives and also because there is a shared sense of purpose between you and them. These are the 7 competencies that make up the network intelligence digital competency model. My research shows that every single person in the professional environment needs a minimum level of network intelligence that is of all 7 network IQ digital skills. Now, you will surely agree with me that depending on your job, on your role, on your formal position, and on the organization, you do not need to excel in all 7 competencies. And this is absolutely true. We analyze why people are using networking, to what benefits they want to achieve, and how effective they are. Basically, our data shows that in the global database of the network IQ, we identified 5 typical sets of tasks why people use networking, and we labeled these people in the following way. Number one is a seller. This person is conscious about building a reputation and building the type of ties that may help him or her sell products or services, but also to understand market trends. The second person is a connector. This person is good at building partnerships, at recruiting and developing people, and at opening the doors. An example of such a person is, for example, a community manager, an engagement manager, a human resources manager, or even a person working in a finance department who needs to understand different things in the organization to interpret the numbers in the good way. The next person is buddy. Buddy is good at sharing tangible and intangible resources. It can be information and knowledge or skills. It can be office equipment, maybe technology. This gives buddy an access to resources buddy would not otherwise have, and a type of a person for whom especially this networking tasks are important is for entrepreneurs or people self-employed, people inside organizational, people outside working independently. The next person is developer. Developer is good at developing not only products and services and delivering them together with a team, but at promoting a win-win approach. And thanks to this, developers' team can perform efficiently and tap on the networks within their organization or ecosystem. The next person is an innovator. Innovator knows what's going on and what is most likely to happen, at least in the very near future. And this gives innovator a creative power, a power of disruption. Most likely you would like to know what does your job require you to do, in what way you should utilize your networks in a strategic way. Well, all these 5 profiles, the seller, the connector, the buddy, developer, and an innovator, is probably most likely somehow connected to your job, is or will be in the very near future. Let me give you an example. If you are working as a salesperson or a marketeer and you're just focusing on building relations with the people who can buy something from you or with the users of your solution, most likely those who are also a bit of innovators and can use their networks to develop very different approaches because they have a sort, interface in their networks. They use networking to connect with people who have this creative power. Another example is a person who's an innovator. If you think that it's enough that you know what's going on and that you're maybe somehow better than those who just do business as usual, most likely your innovation will not get up and will not get adopted, will not get up to speed, will not be scaled up. So in a way, you need to be a developer as well and understand that your team needs not only to co-create solutions, but also to deliver them. And most likely, you also need to be in some way a buddy, because when you really want to innovate, you must share resources. You must learn how to share. And actually, this is one of the most difficult things. Now, you can say, who really sets my networking goals? And I would say that really it depends on a number of factors. Most likely on your formal position, on the formal type of contract, your function with a team and within an organization, and on many different aspects such as national culture or organizational culture. But in principle, you are responsible to set out your networking goals yourself, build up your network IQ skills, and use the network intelligence in a meaningful way, with a purpose in mind. Because the better you network yourself, the more likely you are to be able to have the right networks and tap on the opportunities available in these networks at the right time. But it's not only about you. If you're able to network yourself in a meaningful way, if you have high network IQ skills, you are a more valuable asset to your team and to people who are part of your ecosystem. Network intelligence is a set of digital competencies. Any competency can be learned and mastered. If you want to utilize your full potential and be a valuable asset to your team and at the ecosystem level, you need to grow your network IQ skills. There is a level below which your network intelligence becomes of marginal use to other people in your network. And there is a standard skill level that you can benchmark yourself against the top performers. Remember, network intelligence is important for you and for me, for us together.